Hey guys, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the D-Time Love Show. And as you can see from the intro, I've got a very intriguing, interesting watch I want to share with you guys on the channel. It's a brand called Wishdoit. They're a Chinese brand and they're making their debut on the D-Time Love Show. Now, Wishdoit are a Chinese brand that reached out to me, and it's evident just from the intro, from what you can see from the watch, us watch enthusiasts will say this is very much a homage to a Richard Mille. Now, I get a lot of brands contact me, and without a doubt, I would say there's been over 30-40 brands that are producing homage watches of Richard Mille. They come into the channel, I receive the watch, I take a look at the watch, and if I don't feel the quality of the product matches the price tag, and a lot of the dials are horrific, I have to say, but this one was different. It came in, and guys, I had to say, when I first picked up this watch, it was scary how much it reminded me of the Richard Mille watches that have huge price tags. Now, don't get me wrong, Richard Mille have humongous price tags, for good reason. Maybe they are a little bit overpriced for sure for what you're getting. But in general, the engineering of a Richard Mille is outstanding. It's a technical masterpiece. Everything is engineered, refined, overly engineered, you could say. And the materials they use are second to none. However, if you're on the market for a Richard Mille affordable alternative, Wishdoit potentially could be a watch that you may want to consider. But before I go into my first impressions, my opinion of the watch, let's go through the packaging that it comes with. At the price point, very good indeed, with a carry case that it comes with. But let's have a look at the dimensions and the spec of this particular timepiece. Now, in terms of case diameter, it's 42 millimeters. Lug to lug, where it's lug width, because it's a barrel case, Tourneau case, you're looking at 56.5 millimeters. You've got a band width of 25 millimeters. You've got a case thickness of 15.4 millimeters. It's got a brush finishing throughout. You've got a high-end finish polish on the screws as well. If you can see at the edge of the case, there's a high-end finish sort of beveling polish there. And I believe the side of the case has been bead blasted. Very nice indeed. And the rubber strap is of very good quality. Now, the movement itself apparently is in-house made in China. And it's got over 80 hours power reserve. Sapphire crystal at the back, big like turbine crown, and you have a sapphire crystal which is absolutely fantastic that it's actually curved. The watch comes with a microfiber cloth as well, and let's just polish that up so you can see the movement in more detail. Now, when I get these homages in to the channel, what I find normally is that there's a lot of dust particles, the finishing of the actual skeletonized movement is not very good. And if we zoom in here, you can see the detail and the finishing and execution for the price is very good indeed. Now, let's just zoom out for you guys, and I want to start off by saying this, right? In terms of my first impressions, let's start off with the negatives. Yes, this watch is very much a homage of a Richard Mille. There's no mistake in that. And in terms of a negative, this can be easily mistaken from a distance. Let's say you're in central London, you walk out of a nightclub, and someone may believe you're wearing a 200,000 plus timepiece on your wrist. So this watch has the danger factor. So you really have to think carefully. If you're buying a watch like this, it could bring you some unwanted attention. Now, on the positive, if you really want a Richard Mille watch and you just don't have the budget, you're on a Seiko budget, Seiko 5 or Prospects range, and you've got $500 to spend, and you're looking for one of the best value Richard Mille homages, then Wishdoit could be the brand for you. Now, on a negative, Wishdoit, I'm not sure why they call it Wishdoit, the brand. It's not something that really draws me in. I think they could have come up with something a bit more original than that. But for the price tag, put that aside in terms of what you get. You're getting a domed sapphire crystal. You're getting a very detailed depth dial, guys. There's a lot of depth there. Hence why the thickness of the dial as well. Look at the detail and the finishing, guys. What I would say, though, that is probably one of the biggest crowns I've ever seen on a watch. I think it's like 10.9 millimeters in terms of case diameter. The finishing of the barrel tonneau case, although it's very thick and is large in terms of diameter, it's lugless, guys, yeah? The actual rubber strap is integrated into the actual watch. Spin this over. The rubber strap is fantastic. It's 25 millimeters and it tapers down. Wishdoit water resistant. And you're looking at that in-house movement there, which has an over 80 hours power reserve. What I would say that I don't like about, and it is beautifully done, don't get me wrong, but looking at that rotor doesn't seem to fit well with the rest of the aesthetic of the watch. And it is a round movement. Even Richard Mille use round movements in their watches, but they integrate them so aesthetically it doesn't look like it's just been thrown in to the barrel case as such. Now, it's very nicely done, but I just feel that they may have skeletonized it a little bit more different to be more in fitting with the watch itself. But overall, I'll be honest with you, it's very nicely done. They've got some sort of black PVD finishing, I would have thought, of some sort. But yeah, it's sapphire crystal at the back. You can see the screws have got a high-end finish polish. I'm not sure necessarily if they are real or not. I'd be surprised at this price point. But the actual movement, to my surprise, feels good. And I'm not just saying that. You know, I've had a lot of other movements come through in the channel and I'm thinking, well, they're charging up to £1,000 and the movement didn't feel that great. This winds very well indeed. Let's play with this for you guys as well. Now, the actual movement itself is a skeletonized movement, but at the top there at 12 o'clock, you can see the bridges there. I believe that's just part of the dial. But overall, guys, I have to say, it really is executed well. It's scary how well they can produce a watch at this price point. Okay, what you're not getting is the branding as such, but the finishing of the case. Look at that finishing there, that satin finish. The screws look like Richard Mille screws with a high-end finish polish. I'm sure they're just there for show. The movement itself is in-house. Wishdoit made it very clear to me that this watch is made by themselves in their factory. And I guess it's one of those factories that are producing very good quality watches at the moment. They just lack the branding expertise. Now, this watch is called the Captain Kidd watch. Plays tribute to Captain William Kidd, and it's inspired by pirates. And the case, they say, is like a barrel where pirates sort of store their treasures as such. But we all know this really is playing homage to Richard Mille. And I'll leave you some footage of the actual loom. It's pretty good. The indices all loom up and they were quite long lasting to my surprise. But guys, this watch is scary in the fact that, honestly, the people that I've shown this watch to thought I bought a Richard Mille Wishdoit. Was it some sort of special edition? They thought I've really upped my game until I said no. This watch is very much a homage, you know, from China. But look and feel the quality of the watch. And just zoom in again for you guys, just to give you a more closer view of the movement. and the finishing of it's not bad at all if you consider the price tag. And it is a genuinely skeletonized movement, not like anything that, brands modify, some of the mainstream mass-produced brands. It was produced as a skeletonized watch, and the actual dial has been manipulated to look like an extended barrel case on the front. It's just a real shame if it was a little bit more, they didn't actually do the same for the back, because it really would have been a perfect homage, to be honest with you. Now, in terms of me being overly critical, does go back to that it doesn't really have that much originality. It's very much a homage to Richard Mille. And I just want to warn you guys that this watch can bring you some unwanted attention. But if you're someone that's looking for that timepiece, that kind of timepiece is going to bring you real attention, then look no further than the Wishdoit. I mean, it really is spectacular in terms of the way it looks, and it gives you a bit of what it would be like to wear a Richard Mille, maybe at a distance. And don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near as engineered, as good as a Richard Mille. Don't get me wrong, those things are masterpieces on the wrist. And don't get me wrong, this watch will not appeal to everybody, that's for sure. But if you're on the market for this kind of timepiece, then I have to say you will not be disappointed. And I was really impressed with the 80 hours power reserve. Fantastic. They said to me it's in how. I asked loads of questions about, servicing, what would happen. I'm sure it'd be just a movement replacement as such. But guys, at this price point, you got to think, wow, they really have come a long way, these Chinese watch manufacturers. And there's a few things that I would change. They've got fashion watch there at the back. I don't know what they were thinking there. Maybe it's for copyright reasons, pattern of design. I don't know, to be honest with you. But I have to say, guys, with its packaging that you get for the price, with that leatherette carry case, the watch itself, the designs, there's loads of different designs and variants that I think you'd like if you're into these types of watches. This is extremely good value for money if you're looking for these types of watches. I mean, I'm a big fan of Richard Mille, but I just don't have the budget to purchase something of that value. I don't have a spare £200,000 sterling to buy a watch like that. I always feel that that kind of money potentially would be better off in bricks and mortar. But, for me, if you're someone who really loves that aesthetic in design, this could be the watch for you. And I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to check them out. Yeah, look at that. It's nice. I'm going to leave you some highlights of the watch in natural sunlight. I mean, I love these types of watches. They're not your traditional orthodox design, but they're very cool and definitely conversational pieces. And to be honest with you, I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to Transformers, Iron Man, Marvel Comics, this sort of thing. And it just really does reminisce something out of this world, a bit of a alien timepiece, to be fair, and hence why I wanted to have a little bit of fun with the intro, guys. But have a look at their website. I'll leave a link in the description, guys. They have reduced the prices, I believe, to about £412 sterling. Check them out, guys. I think it is definitely an interesting piece, but not for everybody on the channel. I totally understand, but don't forget what you're getting with that that curved sapphire crystal. It has anti-reflective coating under the sapphire crystal on both sides, and it wears well, all considering the fact the way that tonneau case, that barrel case wears. They're just extremely comfortable, but have real presence, guys. But leave your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular timepiece. I'd be intrigued to see what you have to say about this timepiece, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.
Deine Treppe. Deine